Shalom. There was a family who consisted of Naomi and Elimelech, the husband, Naomi being the wife, with 2 sons. And they lived in Bethlehem in Judah, and there was a drought, and things were very hard. And they decided to leave, and they traveled a great distance to where life was better. This was in Moab. Now, while in Moab, they built another life. Naomi and her husband and her 2 sons settled there, and they made a living. And the 2 sons married 2 women from Moab, and things seemed to be going okay. But then, Naomi's husband passed on, and he was no longer with them. And then some more time passed, 10 years in fact, and Naomi's 2 sons also died. And then there were the 3 women, Naomi, Orpah, and Ruth, her 2 daughters-in-law. Now after this time, word had reached her that God had smiled again upon her people in Judah, and things were back to being okay. And she decided to go back, and the 3 women left to travel the long journey back to Judah. While on the travels there, Naomi turned to her 2 daughters and said, "Do not come back with me. Your life remains and your future remains in Moab. You have no husbands. I cannot offer you any more husbands. You will not have children if you come with me. Please go back." But they argued with her. They did not want to leave her. And after traveling on a little bit further, she once again pleaded with them, "Please go back. Even if I could birth 2 children right now, would you wait? Would you wait those years until they can grow up to be your husbands? Go back to your people, go back to your families, and live in peace. You have been good to me." And Orpah cried, and she wept, and she went back to her people. But Ruth refused to do so. She thought, and then she told Naomi, "Your people are my people. Where you go, I will go. Where you rest your head to sleep, I will rest my head to sleep. Your God will be my God. And where you die, I will die, and I will be buried in that land." And to this very day, that is basically the whole spirit behind anyone who wishes to convert, to become a Hebrew, to become a Jew. So the 2 women continued on. They made it back to Bethlehem. And there was a great commotion. The people could hardly believe it. They gathered around the 2 women and they said, "Is that really you, Naomi?" And she said, "Do not call me Naomi. I am not a pleasant one. My husband and my 2 sons have been taken from me, and Hashem, God, has treated me with great bitterness. So please call me Mara, the bitter one." And there they camped at the outside of Bethlehem, destitute, hungry. And Naomi said, "Ruth, my daughter, please go. Find a field that you can go behind the people who are harvesting the barley at this time, because it was the time of the harvest of the barley, and see what you can glean from what they leave behind. And she went and she found a field where there were many people harvesting, and she started to harvest with them, behind them. And this field actually belonged to a man who was a relative of Naomi's departed husband, and his name was Boaz. And Boaz was a good man, and there he saw this beautiful girl, Ruth, harvesting in her fields, and he thought of her.